If you're stuck in endless revision cycles from clients who keep giving you reviews like make it pop or I don't like it, it's because you did not give them a proper system to review your videos. And this is the number one thing that most of the top editors I know have figured it out. And without this client revision document, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table every single month. Because here's the truth, without the system, you're probably going in endless revision cycles and you keep getting lame reviews from clients, dragging the amount of time that you should spend for revisions triple to what it actually should be. That way you're handling half of the projects that you actually have potential to. So if you want to end this revision hell and actually grow your client roster, this review system is what you need immediately. And once you implement this, I guarantee you will cut your revision time in half and you will never ever hear from your client make it pop ever again. Now before we get into it, quick intro, I'm AR7, I've been editing for over 7 years. I dropped out of college to do this full time and I've edited over 2,000 videos for the biggest creators that you ever know, and I've had hundreds, if not thousands of students overcome this exact same problem. And client management, I learned it the hard way, so you don't have to. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Now let me show you an example of what bad feedback looks like to an extreme level. So look at this for example. We have this video, right? And this is the revisions that we're getting. Make it more professional, make it modern, it needs more energy, make it pop, keep it subtle, find the balance between visuals please. I can't explain what's wrong, but I just know it's not right. My gut is telling me this isn't it. I think it's great, but my 12-year-old nephew said it's cringe. Now you can see these revisions are absolutely lame and you can literally not understand anything that's being said. All there is a bunch of words and emotion put into this without actual critical feedback. And to be honest, there is a lot of people like that, a lot of clients out there like that. And the problem is the output that happens out of this is that you spent 40 hours on a project that should have taken 15 hours, for example, and you went through 7 rounds of revision, which could have been done in 1 round, because half of the shit they said is not understandable. And here's the thing, this isn't just annoying. It's actively destroying your business. Let's talk about the opportunity cost. We're gonna go literally into the finances to give you an example of what this is doing to your business and what it's doing to you as a person. So let's say, for example, you charge, by the way, these are just examples, the numbers can be inaccurate. Let's say, for example, you charge $500 per project. And the amount of estimated hours is 15 hours to complete this project, which is $33, right? Pretty decent. Now, let's say bad feedback adds 10 more hours of revisions. You spend the same amount of time that you would have spent on this video, except you're doing it on revisions. And people might not realize this, even though like the number of hours that you'll be putting into like the technical work might be lesser, it's still taking the energy into multiple days. And in that time, you cannot accept any other project because you know that you still have this one pending, right? So bad revision adds 10 hours of revisions, and now suddenly you went from having to make $33 an hour to $20 an hour, and you just cut your rate by 40% without even realizing it. Now see, I'm not saying that revisions are not supposed to be there. Revisions are gonna add hours, they just have to be efficient. And the capacity cost out of this is, let's say with a system you can do 6 projects per month for $3,000, or earn, like, for example, $3,000. And without this, you're dragging 2 projects so far down the line that you're only able to make 1/3 of the amount of money. That's $2,000 left on the table just because you keep going through these revision loops. And most importantly, we have the mental cost, which honestly, I never looked at money, like, okay, I'm gonna make money. It was never about like always the money for me. It was also about the fun, the creativity, my power, my energy, so that I can keep putting that into multiple projects. I wasn't like grinding in and out, doing thousands of projects every single month. I'm completely against that approach. So the mental cost, it is what like ruined me the most. I went through burnout. I got like hate and resentment towards clients. I keep second guessing myself, looking at competitors, and I'm like, am I even good at this? And I spent weekends doing avoidable revisions that if I had a system, it would have been way smoother. And not only did this like stop me from making more projects, I was going through procrastination in my own life. I was just miserable on the bed during this burnout period. I couldn't go to the gym. was always in a low mood, I was relying on coffee, and all of this cost that comes out of it, other than just money, that compounds to every other aspect in your life. So yeah, this isn't small, but here's what I realized. The shift is clients aren't giving bad feedback because they're difficult. They're giving bad feedback because you never told them how to. You can't expect the client to know from the first time, especially if they're new to the content space. That's when most clients need editors. And if you're getting hired, most probably the client hasn't found anyone else and he's trying to find editors. And when they work with agencies, those places, they have systems, right? Which is why a lot of clients, they work with agencies. Trust me, I have one. And we give our clients the exact same system, and we make everything so efficient to the point that, it just never puts anyone into any problem. And you just need to give your clients that same structure. And because I have an agency, I know what the systems are. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of these editors, they blame the client or they blame the workspace for everything. You can find 1,000 reasons to not go to work or to not work or to find problems with your workspace. But the uncomfortable truth is, you cannot keep blaming the clients. Things like, my client is so annoying, they don't know what they want. The real problem, as I said, is you never trained them and you never showed them what good feedback looks like. And that's on you, not on them. Now, it's a completely different case if you went through this communication with them and they're still repeating the same mistakes. That's just not a good client and you should immediately drop them. But in most cases, bro, clients are humans and they're willing to listen. They're not like some egotistical fucking, robots that that don't want to listen. They want to. It just has to be done in the right way. So the authority play is that when you train clients on how to review properly, you're not just making your life easier, you're positioning yourself as a professional who understands the process. And so when they look at you, they look at you as an authority who knows what he's doing, who's been in the space, and why they should listen to you. So AR7, what is the ultimate solution that you've been talking about this whole time? What is it? Come on, I want to get to the fix. Very simple. Let me show you. It's called a standard operating procedure. A standard operating procedure is a document which is like a step-by-step instruction that tells people exactly how to complete a certain task consistently. So, for example, doing revisions is a consistent, repeatable task, and there is a full document on how to do it the most efficient way. Now, let me run you through this document. You'll find this document in the second link in description, and let me show you what this document looks like, so for you to be able to understand and digest everything. I mean, most probably if you just read through it, you'll understand, but if you want to go deeper into it, let me run you through it. We have a couple of mistakes that clients do when they're giving feedback, right? So you send this document over to the client and it says how to give feedback on frame.io. Now, frame.io is very important. If you want to do this in Google Drive, you're already causing a lot of problem. So we can deliver faster, right? The first problem is clients might be very vague and not specific. For example, as I showed you, this part feels off. Make it better. The vibe isn't right. Instead of saying this, they should say, can we cut the sentence, please? It repeats the intro point twice. Can you increase the text size by 20%? I don't like how small it is. The music feels too upbeat for the serious message. Can we try something calmer? That way, the editor understands that what is the actual problem and what is the solution. When you understand what the problem is, you can work towards the solution by yourself. And when someone gives you the problem and the solution, you don't even have to think. You can just do it, right? But the problem is, most of the clients, they just throw the problem and they don't even throw the problem the right way. They give you vague shit that is not even understandable. So vague feedback means we're guessing what the client wants, but specific feedback means we're nailing it from the first try. Second thing is clients can give you similar feedback by category. So instead of leaving 20,000 different comments, they can batch all of these revisions. Like in one area, they're telling you to fix all of these typos. In one area, they're telling you to fix all of the branding issues. In one area, they're telling you to fix all of the audio issues. Now, in most cases, these clients will not be able to implement this very properly. So it's very simple. Just take all of the feedback that you get from the client, take the screenshot, put it into ChatGPT, and tell ChatGPT to categorize it for you. Now, one other thing that clients really do a mistake on is they think they're the experts. In fact, we're the experts and we understand what is the actual editing that's going to be better in that case. So they should always focus on the message, not every single frame of the video. This document, it literally says that you hired me for my creative expertise. You have to trust our direction, you have to trust our technical decisions, unless something feels clearly wrong or is off-brand. Micromanaging every single creative choice slows both of us down and dilutes the expertise you hired us for. So imagine a client tells you to move a text by 3 pixels to the right. Or imagine a client tells you to add one more line in the background. Like, these are all stupid changes, and there is a reason why we did them in a certain specific way, unless you're a beginner. But in this case, everyone I'm speaking to is advanced. So I'm assuming you guys already know what you're experts at. This will help the client understand that they should focus on the message, not every single frame from the video. You also tell the client to use a clear feedback formula. For example, instead of saying that the captions is too hard to read, they specify why is it hard to read. Like, can we make it bolder? The pause feels too long. Can you cut it down in half? The audio is low compared to the music. Can we raise it? The formula tells exactly what the issue is, where the issue is, what the issue is, and how to fix it. We can execute immediately without having to do any follow-up questions. So imagine if the client says, this is too hard to read, and imagine you cannot figure it out, or you cannot understand why the client is saying that. And then you have to go in the chat and ask him. But if he mentions, both of the points at once, it makes it very, very, very easy. Another thing that a lot of clients do is they don't submit feedback all at once. The feedback can come in waves. Sometimes you have the client drop 3 feedback on Monday, 2 feedback on Wednesday, 5 feedback on Friday, and we can't close out revisions in that way. We're stuck waiting, right? We need everything to be done in one session so we can do all of the revisions in one session. We immediately move to the final delivery. After all, the client wants the video to be done faster, and we want the video to be done faster. It's a win-win situation. I don't see a problem. So the result of all of this, guys, is there is clear, specific, time-stamped feedback equal faster turnaround times and better results. You want to nail your vision as quickly as possible, and this client helps, and this system helps both of us get there without endless back and forth. By the way, this document is made completely ready to literally send it over to the client. You don't need to optimize anything. You don't need to, tweak. Maybe you can add your watermark if you want by copying it. But yeah, over here I even have examples of what bad feedback looks like. When the client looks at this, they'll also understand, but I don't want to repeat so many points. We already spoke about this: the vague, the non-specific comments, the contradicting their own comment, the opinion without context, the micromanagement, like 3 pixels to the left, etc., etc. The key takeaway is they have to have a very specific request, the reason, and then we give them fast and accurate revisions. So it's that simple, guys. There is no magic into this. I send this over to my clients and I approach them and I tell them that, hey guys, please look over this, and this is something that we want to make sure that we're efficient. And it's all about framing it the right way. So avoid the misconception of thinking that, oh, my client will not look at the document, he will not implement it. The thing is, this only happens when the client doesn't understand the value of what it is to implement this, right? If you position this document as something that will make their life easier, they love it. You frame it as faster, you frame it as, better results and less chaos happening in the messages or emails or wherever you take these revisions. See, I've sent this to 50 plus clients. Until today, I haven't found any client who says that I don't want to implement this. It's very stupid and inhuman of them. Most of them say that this is better than how other editors work with me. This is literally a win-win situation. You're sending over this document and the client reading it and the client implementing it and you keeping him accountable of it. It's a win-win situation. You win and the client win. Things are done faster and better and in shorter turnaround times. I don't know if you guys expected some crazier shit, but the truth is all they need is one freaking document that you're gonna send it over to them and they're gonna be able to implement it. It's that simple, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know how you guys are liking these styles of videos. I'm going very in depth into every single problem from every single aspect other than just editing tutorials. So if you guys keep liking this, drop a comment down below and give me your feedback, and also drop some video ideas. That would be very great. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.